I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order, please, at December 12th, 2017. Roll call.
Councilmember Hope. Present. Gross. Here. Gill. Present. Dodds.
Present.
Goodrich.
Here.
All council members are present, as is the mayor, city administrator, city clerk, city attorney, and various staff members in the audience. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved. Second.
Do you want to spell?
Yeah, I'd like to make the amendment to item in the consent calendar, item N. The payment should read 1,330. 1,330 instead of 2,660.
Okay, so I have a motion to approve the agenda with that amendment and a second. Moved by Gill, seconded by Hoft. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The agenda is approved. Now we have again a very sad but very important item to recognize a council member that has served Coralville incredibly well for the last 8 years. I think you're going to be here for the last meeting, aren't you, Bill?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not quite the end, but that was so close to Christmas that we knew our ratings would be much higher tonight. That's what we wanted. So
Can we shoot fireworks then?
yeah, there you go.
No.
So
I think we're in the window.
what's the pleasure? Do you want us to? I gave Bill a plaque a few minutes ago. Do you want us to stand out front?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, Bill, why don't you join me in the front there? Well, get your plaque. Oh.
Here's your plaque, I'll give it back to you.
Okay, great. Okay. Well, again, on behalf of the citizens of Coralville, the city staff, your colleagues on the city council, we really appreciate and extend this gratitude for your past 8 years of service to the community. Obviously, Coralville has made great strides in those 8 years, and some of that can be attributed directly to you. So we really appreciate that. As I always say, it's not just coming to the council meetings. We all have other assignments, and you have faithfully represented the city on the IRL committee, and obviously great strides have been made in the IRL. You've been on the design review committee. You've been the liaison to the fire department, and I always have to think of police or fire department, and you have been our first and therefore the longest standing council representatives to the arts committee. Commission. So you do a lot more than just come to these council meetings. So we really appreciate it. So you can remember your good times here. Here's the plaque. Bill Hope, City Council 2010 to 17, with recognition and gratitude for 8 years of dedicated service to the city of Coralville. Congratulations.
I know right where it's going.
Would you like to say anything?
Just that it's been, I've gotten so much more out of this than you guys have gotten out of me. It's been an honor and a pleasure to work with everyone here. Honestly, you're not just colleagues, but I consider you my friends. The city staff is incredible. They're second to none. They make our jobs much easier. And it's a pleasure and an honor to do this, but also to be a community member. And I look forward to seeing my predecessor here, who's going to do a fantastic job. I just have no doubt about it. So, Megan, it's great to see you, and thanks for coming. And that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks very much.
I suspect maybe under council time there may be a few other comments made, so hang in there. Okay, item 5 is citizen comments. Does anyone in the audience like to speak to us tonight about an item that's not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Item 6 is Iowa River Landing Retail Lease Agreement, public hearing. Item A is a public hearing on a proposed lease agreement with Ethan Allen Retail, Inc. This is the lease 8,997 square feet of space in a building that's to be built directly north of the Scratch Cupcakery building. Ethan Allen, I forgot the name. Ethan Allen will occupy the first floor of that building and will be open in approximately 1 year. So I will open the public hearing on this proposed lease. Any comments? Any written?
No written.
Okay. I will close the public hearing and consider the resolution.
Resolution approving the disposition of property and approving a lease agreement with Ethan Allen Retail, Inc., introduced for adoption by Councilmember Host, seconded by.
Second.
Second by Dodds. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hope.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 7 is the Northeast Area Water and Sanitary Sewer Connection Fee District. This is the third and final consideration of an ordinance establishing the rates, the newest rates for this water connection district. Don?
Ordinance number 2017-1012, an ordinance establishing the Northeast Area Water Connection Fee District for third and final consideration, introduced by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hope.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Ordinance passes its third and final consideration. All ayes. Item B is a similar ordinance, except this time it's for the sanitary sewer connection fees.
Ordinance number 2017-1013, an ordinance establishing the Northeast Area Sanitary Sewer Connection Fee District, introduced for adoption, third and final consideration by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hope.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Ordinance passes its third and final consideration, all ayes. Item 8 is a portion of Outlot A, Dovetail Estates Part 7. This is the second consideration of the ordinance that will rezone the northern portion of Outlot A in the Dovetail Estates to residential PUD 2 district.
Ordinance number 2017-1014, an ordinance amending the Coralville zoning ordinance, the same being ordinance number 664 as previously amended, rezoning certain property located within the corporate limits of the city of Coralville, Johnson County, Iowa, and generally known as a portion of Outlot A, Dovetail Estates Part 7, from CPUD 1, Commercial Plan Unit Development 1 District, to RPUD 2, Residential Plan Unit Development 2 District, is introduced for adoption in the second consideration by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Hope. Discussion? Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hope.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Ordinance passes its second consideration, all ayes. Item 9 is Dovetail Estates Part 10. It's a building report and Planning and Zoning Commission report by building official Jim Kessler.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is actually the same piece of ground that you just did the second reading on for the rezoning. This is a preliminary and the final plating of which will be known as actually Dovetail Estates Part 10 when it's all done. So we're taking Outlot A, rezoning Outlot A, and then we're subdividing Outlot A into 2 lots. Lot number 1, which is the northern half, which will be the residential development, and lot number 2, the southern half, which will remain commercial and be commercial development in the future. So we're looking at both the preliminary plat and the final plat tonight. All the public improvements are already there from previous development, so we can do both plats at the same meeting. So both plats have been through P&Z and recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission by a, excuse me, a 5-0 vote.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Item C is a resolution approving the preliminary plat for this project.
Resolution approving the preliminary plat for Dovetail Estates Part 10, Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Discussion? Roll call.
Hope.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Preliminary plat is approved. All ayes. Item B is the approval of the final plat for this project.
Resolution approving the final plat for Dovetail Estates Part 10, Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Hope, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hope.
Aye.
Resolution is approved. All ayes. Okay, item 10 is the second reading of 3 rather long ordinances, all having to do with reporting requirements for our TIF projects in Coralville. So we'll start with item A.
Ordinance number 2017-1015, an ordinance amending ordinances number 651-706, 96-749, 96-777, 2003-969, 2013-1008, 2014-1011, 2015-1017, and 2016-1019, providing that certain property tax levied and collected each year on all property located within the 12th Avenue Urban Renewal District area in the city of Coralville of Johnson, state of Iowa, by and for the benefit of the state of Iowa, City of Coralville, County of Johnson, Iowa City Community School District, and other taxing districts to be paid to a special fund for payments, principal, and interest on loans, monies advanced to, and indebtedness, including bonds issued or to be issued incurred by said city in connection with said urban renewal redevelopment project, is introduced for adoption. Second consideration by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion? Kevin, could you just briefly?
Yeah, so
mention what this
the
is?
12th Avenue one, the one you read here, this is just adding 2 properties, not to the area. These are just 2 projects that have been the 758 building, which is under construction, and the Mira Venture buildings, which is under construction on 5th Street down there. That just adds these 2 to the already existing 12th Avenue urban renewal area.
So none of these 3 resolutions changes the boundaries of our existing TIFs. It just adds projects that are going on within them. So.
Correct.
Okay. Roll call?
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Ordinance passes at second consideration, all ayes.
Ordinance number 2017-1016, an ordinance amending ordinances numbers 650-679-97-786, 2001-941, 2002-95, 2005-1014, 2013-1007, 2015-1018, and 2016-1020, providing that general property taxes levied and collected each year on all property located within Mall and Highway 6 Urban Renewal Project area in the city of Coralville, County of Johnson, state of Iowa, by and for the benefit of the state of Iowa, city of Coralville, County of Johnson, Iowa City Community School District, and other taxing districts be paid to a special fund for payment of principal and interest on loans, monies advanced to, and indebtedness, including bonds issued or to be issued, incurred by said city in connection with said urban renewal redevelopment project, is introduced for adoption and second consideration by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Holt. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance passes at second consideration, all ayes. And finally, item C.
Ordinance number 2017-1017, an ordinance amending ordinance number 608-707, 2001-942, 2006-1052, 2013-1009, 2014-1007, providing that general property taxes levied and collected each year on all property located within the Coralville Urban Renewal Project area in the city of Coralville, Johnson County, Iowa, state of Iowa, by and for the benefit of the state of Iowa, city of Coralville, County of Johnson, Iowa City Community School District, and other taxing districts to be paid to a special fund for payment of principal and interest on loans, monies advanced to, and indebtedness, including bonds issued or to be issued incurred by said city in connection with said urban renewal redevelopment project, is introduced for adoption and second consideration by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Ordinance passes at second consideration, all ayes. Item 11, Internal Revenue Code reimbursement bond regulations. This is a resolution relating, that preserves the city's ability to reimburse itself from future tax-exempt borrowing made now from the funds on hand. Before I'm not even going to read this, you can explain it much better than I can, so.
You want Don to read the resolution?
Sure, read
Okay.
it first, and then we'll
Resolution relating to financing of proposed projects listed on Exhibit A to be undertaken by the City of Coralville, establishing compliance with reimbursement bond regulations under the Internal Revenue Code, is introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Hope. Discussion now?
I'll yield my time to the
Okay,
gentleman from the Finance Department.
Tony Rutland, the Finance Director for the City of Coralville.
So this, this has just got to do with IRS restrictions on tax-exempt borrowing, which is at lower interest rates, and there are just some compliance issues you have to follow when you have a project. You have to announce the intent to borrow some of the money tax-exempt to be able to do it at a later point. So these are not to exceed amounts in here, and it doesn't mean we will or have to borrow for those. It just allows us to preserve the option to do so.
Very well said. Thank you. Any other discussion or questions? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hope. Aye. Gross. Aye.
The resolution passes all ayes. Item 12 is on-the-job automobile and mileage expense reimbursement. This adds the position of the mayor to a list of city positions eligible for on-the-job automobile and mileage expenses reimbursement at the IRS standard mileage rate due to excessive and regular personal use. And I'll just explain a little bit. This is just in a relatively rare occasion where the mayor, that being myself, is required to drive out of town. I've never charged the city for any in-town driving, but if I have to go to Des Moines or Ames to the DOT or someplace like that, and the city van is not available, therefore I have to use my own personal vehicle, this allows me to be reimbursed at the higher rate that for that travel. But that would only be in the case of out-of-town travel and if I cannot use the city vehicle.
And the higher rate is 53 cents.
53 cents a
gallon.
mile, yes.
A mile, a gallon.
Okay.
Resolution adding the position of mayor to a list of designated city staff positions eligible for on-the-job automobile and mileage expense reimbursement at the IRS standard mileage rate, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Hope, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hope. Aye. Gross. Aye. Gill.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes. Item 13 is Fifth Street angle parking, snow and ice removal and sweeping. It's a quotation report and then a resolution accepting the quotation and awarding the contract. And we're going to hear from Vicki Rohrbach, our Parking and Transit Director.
Thank you, Mayor. We sent out an invitation for quotes, and we received 4 quotes ranging from $15,320 to $21,600. This is for the snow removal on Fifth Street, as well as the new angled parking on 6th Avenue. And then it also includes a sweeping at the end of the season to clean up any debris and everything. Forever Green was the low bidder at $15,320. And we checked on their references and everything. They had very, very good references. So I would ask for your consideration to award to the Forever Green of North Liberty.
Okay, thank you. Let's have the resolution, and we'll have some discussion.
Resolution accepting quotation and awarding contract for Fifth Street angle parking, snow and ice removal and sweeping, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Discussion. I just had the question, it says lump sum, so does this mean however little or however much snow is falls this year, they'll be paid this amount?
Yes, that is true.
And my question is just, so is this above and beyond like what the street department does then? Or
Yeah.
why is that?
And because the equipment that they use is very difficult to do those parking stalls, and so that allows them to continue to do, they'll do the streets, Fifth Street, for example, but it's very difficult for them to get in there with that equipment. And our Parks Department that does a lot of the other parking lots, we've got so many parking lots, they just don't have the time nor equipment to do and to be prompt in getting all of this done at the same time.
I should also mention that this includes hauling, so they're responsible for all the hauling of the material that they clear.
Okay. Thanks.
They do the sidewalks, do they?
It doesn't include the sidewalks, but they are aware that the commercial tenants obviously don't have a lot of options to remove the snow, so they are anticipating that some of that is going to go into the parking areas.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft. Aye. Gross. Aye. Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 14 is addendum to the Iowa Department of Transportation agreement for federal aid to develop and complete the Clear Creek Trail Phases 6 and 7, and to repurpose an additional $49,376 left over from the Clear Creek Greenway and associated trails projects in Johnson County.
Resolution approving a federal aid agreement with the Iowa Department of Transportation for a Transportation Alternatives Program Project and Federal Recreational Trails Program Project, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion. Roll call.
Hoft. Aye. Gross. Aye. Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
The resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 15, it's a supplemental agreement that compensates HR Green for providing construction and administration services for the roadway and park grading project and plan review of the Latitude project as prepared by MMS, not to exceed $10,000.
Resolution approving supplemental agreement number 3 to the engineering services agreement with HR Green Inc. for the IRL sanitary sewer and roadway grading project 2017, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Close. Seconded by Gill. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross. Aye. Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft. Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. I would consider a motion to approve the amended consent calendar.
Move to approve the amended consent calendar items A through DD inclusive.
Second.
Moved by Gill, seconded by Hoft. Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft. Aye. Gross. Aye.
Consent calendar is approved as amended. Item 17 is city administrator report.
Yeah, first of all, I would just like to thank Bill for his 8 years of service to the city. We all recognize that there's a lot of effort that goes into that beyond just sitting here at the council chambers 2 times a month, and we really do appreciate it. And you've been very supportive and active, and we wish you the best.
Thank you.
Would just like to thank all of the volunteers that we had for luminary activities this last weekend. We had activities all around the city. We had people that helped put out the luminaries and then also pick them up afterwards in certain locations. It does take a lot of effort, like all of the events that we have, and so we just appreciate all the volunteers that are willing and able to participate. Remind everyone that the recycling drop site has moved, and we received our first weekend a significant amount of material, and so Eric and the staff are continuing to monitor and try to adjust for removal of the materials, just anticipating when the heavy times will be. Obviously, weekends is one of those. So, but do encourage, because it's a great spot and it is available 24 hours a day. So, encourage people to attend that. One thing I wanted to mention from the luminaries, we've had really fun opportunity that we have a great train display here at City Hall, and it was a huge hit for luminaries, but it's been here all holiday season. And so just would like to thank Jim that is the one that put that together, and it's been really appreciated. And if anybody that was here for Luminary Night and saw the kids and their faces and they're just watching that in awe, it was pretty cool to see. So thank him for doing that. We have going on with this city staff support, ways and days of sharing for the holidays for the residents here in Coralville. There's still some opportunities for people to participate. Tomorrow here in City Hall Council Chambers, be putting literacy kits together for United Way, so that'll be from 11 to 1. Friday, we'll have people out at the Coralville Hy-Vee for the Salvation Army bell ringing, and encourage people wherever you see Salvation Army kettle to stop and remember the folks that they support. And then we also are collecting food and money for the Coralville Food Pantry and the Valley View Lodge, bus passes for them. So there's lots of ways that you can give back over this holiday season, and just encourage people to find their own way to participate. That's it.
Thank you, Kelly. Well, you certainly hit on several of the things I was going to mention. I've already made my comments, how much I appreciate Bill's service, and thank you very much, and I'll defer the rest of the comments to the council, because I'm sure there will be some. It's been a pleasure. I also wanted to comment, we had a longtime city employee that announced his retirement, Ed LaGrange. Ed's been the building maintenance coordinator for 25 years with the city of Coralville, and many of us see him, and sometimes you don't see him and you don't appreciate how much he does. But one of the times I always used to see him was always helping out with like the stage setup and takedown for the Fourth Fest and that type of thing. He was always there with his tools to make sure that got done very efficiently. So congratulations to Ed. He's a very avid bicyclist. He's bicycled around the world, South America, Vietnam, and I think I believe he's 70 years old, and he's just decided that it's time to devote more time to riding his bike, and I don't blame him for doing that. So congratulations to Ed as well. Our next meeting is December 26th, so that's the day after Christmas. So I just want to remind everybody again and again that garbage collection that week, the week of Christmas, and then again the week of New Year's, will be one day late. So whatever day your regular pickup is, it won't get picked up till the next day. So please remember that. And last thing, I'll just mention that there's a terrific show going on for one more weekend at the Coralville Center for Performing Arts. That's Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's a modern interpretation done by a younger cast. And I understand from many people it's absolutely terrific. My wife and I are going Friday night, so I'm anxious to see it. And but there are tickets available Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon, if that's worth taking in. City Attorney report.
I'd have to state that Jill and Megan and my hearts were all warmed by the food that's here, and to remind everyone that there's probably no finer Christmas gift to someone that's hungry than food. That's all. Thank you.
I'd just like to express my appreciation for working with Bill. I know I'm still jealous that his football team won a Super Bowl for mine, even though they haven't been around very long. So I do remember, obviously, Bill will be around the wrestling mat. So if you see me in my striped uniform, keep your mouth shut.
Make the right calls then.
Okay, thank you.
And since, Kevin, you are an attorney, we should say the striped uniform is that as a referee.
That is true.
Okay. I just want to make that point.
True.
Okay.
Good point, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good point. Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome.
That.
The stripes are up and down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
I think we'll start at Lori's end and work our way and finish with Bill. So.
Okay, well, congratulations goes out to Ed LaGrange. I too have grown to appreciate him. And when I think of you, Bill, I think of integrity and leadership. I was able to work with you for 4 years. I remember great impressions that the first year when we came together and have worked on many different projects and so on with the staff, of course. And I will always appreciate your pride for the police and fire departments, and also for West High and your own family too, and the involvement that they've had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicely put. Jill.
Well, Bill and I
can't
have
look at
been.
her when she does this because
Yeah.
she's gonna.
We've been the best of friends for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So I was the chairman of his campaign for this. So, and that was our learning curve for sure. Neither one of us knew what we were doing, but we learned through trial and error, and it all paid off. And it's been an honor and a privilege working with you for these 8 years in this capacity, but always still my dearest, dearest friend.
Thank you. Agreed.
It's been an honor to serve with you, Bill. As I said outside, in the work session, I can always take a look at your eyes, and our eyes talk more than what we say.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate everything you've done for the city, and appreciate being a friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mitch.
Well, first things, before I just give Bill all these praises. Thanks, Mayor, for talking about Ed, because that's a great honor and what a great employee. And Kelly, what you said about the luminaries, I just want to reiterate, it's one of my favorite things the city does. I was actually at a basketball tournament, a girls' basketball tournament all weekend, Cedar Falls, and that's draining enough. And just driving home from Cedar Falls and just seeing the lights, it was just, what a feeling. And on that note, I just want to wish residents who celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. Tonight's the first night of Hanukkah. And to Bill, my seatmate for these past 8 years, and Megan, it's an experience being my seatmate. So I've gone through Herwig, now Hoft, and you're the next one. But I do want to start by actually thanking Jill, because probably if it wasn't for you, Bill wouldn't have ran, and I'm glad you helped him back in 2009. And I just, my connection with the Hope Clevenger family, it's so deep, because Bill's wife delivered my first child. I've had 2 of Bill's kids in my classrooms, and being able to have you next to me, I agree with everything that's been said. It's just been an absolute joy and pleasure, and you've just been a tremendous colleague and friend and counselor for this city. And in the world of politics today, I think you don't have to look at the things we do here at the city level. I'm a Democrat, Bill isn't, but that doesn't matter when we, get together on these types of issues that face our community. And I wish more people could work the way we have together, because I just consider you such an amazing public servant, and I'm really going to miss having you by my side. So I wish you the very, very best, Bill.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Mitch. And Bill.
Mayor, thanks. First, I'd like to congratulate Ed. Maybe I'll see you out on the road. I've taken to riding my bike as well, so maybe I'll see you out there. Not in Vietnam, but probably not. But maybe. I don't know. Secondly, I mistakenly called Megan my predecessor, and that would require time travel of you. So what I probably meant to say was successor or replacement. I just wanted to clear that up, because, that's kind of embarrassing for me. Lastly, it truly, I mean this, it has been my pleasure and honor to serve and to work with this group and the staff and the employees are just amazing. It's truly been an honor, and I'll cherish every day and every situation, whether it was an easy one or a more difficult one, and we've had our share of those, obviously. But it's true. If it wasn't, I would not have run. I'll correct you. I would not have run for city office had it not been for Jill. So really, you were the genesis of this, and I thank you in my friendship with you. Obviously, as long as it goes. But all of you now are my friends and will be forever. So before I get emotional, I'm just going to say thank everyone for everything. It's been a wonderful ride, and I look forward to Megan taking the seat. And Mitch, I want my pens back.
Never.
Thank you all. That's all, Mayor. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to reiterate, you still have to come back in 2 weeks. So,
Right. Yeah. I'll be here. I promise.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Gill, seconded by Goodrich. Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned.